Hello everyone and welcome back. Unfortunately, while I do have some news, it's not the best news that everyone's been asking for. Tides of Torment has officially been delayed, but we do have a bunch of information here regarding why that's been delayed and also what else is coming in the form of smaller DLCs. About time. This is something that I've been kind of campaigning for a while. And yeah, let's talk about this. So let's start off with the delay section. Hey folks, we're delaying the release of Total War Warhammer 3 Tides of Torment from our previously stated summer release window and now intend to launch it this year. We will have an exact date for you once we finalize our revised plans and we'll share details as soon as they're ready. We also want to let you know that our plans to release the final What's Next video in this series will also shift out to a future date. I want to talk to you all about why we've made the decision and what to expect in the months ahead. In recent playtesting, we asked ourselves if this DLC met the standards we've set in recent releases, and the short answer was no. However, we know it can, and so we want to spend more time working on it, reviewing the content and improving the gameplay experiences that it's set to bring. Well, that's good, because that means at the end of the day, they want this to be closer, hopefully closer to Thrones of Decay, because that was the standard set by the 1v1v1. These changes will likely mean the content we shared in our What's Next videos for Slaanesh and Norska is no longer accurate. As soon as we know the final shape of those changes, we'll share them with you directly as part of the final What's Next video to give you the complete picture on our third faction DLC and the changes to the other factions. Okay, this is very, very good actually, because at the end of the day there was stuff that people weren't too keen on, like for example, the fact that Nightmare was supposed to be like a spell or ability. I hope he's a proper unit now, or at least a summon for the Norska faction, because it just kind of makes sense there. And hopefully we find out if we get some Boob Snake Riders, some mortal Boob Snake Riders. Right, so let's continue. We know that this is disappointing news. 2025 has been a slower year for many of you in our Warhammer communities. Oh boy, don't we know that. And we're not oblivious to that. We're proud of the updates that we've released of the game this year, but we know that what you love most about this game is the option to experience more of it, especially through the new gameplay styles offered by new Legendary Lords, all of the new unique units, and the focus we give to reworks and core game improvements. Whilst the game is in a better space than in previous years, thanks to the efforts we made through 2024, we're currently not meeting our commitments to be more active on these fronts, and we apologize for not being more transparent. The next few months we plan on addressing that. Here's what to expect. Okay, so it's just the apology tour, oh my god, round 9. But, I mean, look, it does look decent. I've had a little bit of a gander. It's just, it feels like they announced the DLC too early. And the problem is that if they didn't, people would be angry. But, like, maybe just saying, hey, don't say summer. Say, we currently just don't know. It's a weird thing. I know other game companies have this issue too. It's a little disappointing. I will not sugarcoat it. It's a little disappointing. Okay, let's talk about the months ahead. So July. Siege improvements are coming to the Proving Grounds and will enter the public testing towards the end of the month, ahead of its release. We will share details on what's being changed, what we're testing for, and process on how we will handle your feedback before integrating changes into the main game. So we're finally getting the Siege rework. Well, it's going to be more testing for the Siege rework, but I'm looking forward to this because at the end of the day, Sieges have been absolutely awful since the inception of this series back in 2016. So it'll be good to see this being updated with, well, who knows, hopefully, just fixing up a lot of the pathfinding issues, maybe a little bit of the problems with ladders, well, that's also pathfinding, maybe fixing up the gates bug, that would be great. But, okay, this is good news, at least we're getting it at the end of the month. August. Update 6.3 is bringing some overdue quality of life improvements to the Tomb Kings and the Lizardmen. Okay, so 6.3 confirmed. And revisions to generic starting traits. We'll also revisit some of the skills used by generic Orcs and Goblin characters to help refresh those to a more modern standard. Alright, this already sounds pretty good. If they can fix up like the tech tree for the Lizardmen, that would be great. And some very basic core issues like the canopic jars for the Tomb Kings, I would be very, very happy with that. All of this will be paired with the usual host of minor gameplay fixes, bug squashing, and a battle balance update for folks playing in multiplayer. I mean, there was already a big one for multiplayer and a hotfix, but hey, these issues do arise. August will also see the release of a newly recorded What's Next video focused on our third faction, Tides of Torment, where you'll hear directly from our developers on what to expect, as well as updates to the changes and revisions that were made to Slaanesh and Norska since publishing our earlier videos in the series. Okay, cool. So let's hope that this stays here. I'm also a little bit concerned because right now, since they've said one delay, a second delay can happen once again. Finally, September. We're saving space in September for any necessary hot fixes following August release of Update 6.3. Otherwise, our total focus is on Tides of Torment from here on out. We won't have any major updates planned for release in September, but we'll stay on top on emergent issues as we get to work on the 7.0 update. Yeah, so DLCs in October. Awesome. Well, you know, awesome in a /S situation. I mean, yeah, this ain't great. I guess they either really shit the bed or they've had a massive change internally. Something weird is happening. Alright, we got a little bit more information here, so at least something that I've been kind of asking for a while is coming into fruition. On the topic of the road ahead, we also want to acknowledge the growing conversation we see about the game's future beyond Tides of Torment. We see a few folk asking for specific characters that might not fit into any of our current DLC formats, so we're exploring how we might introduce a smaller style of DLC that brings a single legendary lord or a hero unit alongside a few favored additions. We're also working out how these would fit with our schedules. But we've got a good idea for who the first one could be, and she's someone near and dear to your blood. Okay, cool. Neferata. There we go. I mean, that's not too bad. At least, you know, we've got something kind of fun there with a pretty big character. Right now, our Total War Warhammer teams are singly focused on Tides of Torment, so we'll be keeping all our attention where it needs to be, and we'll speak more on the possible topic of smaller DLCs later on in the year. This is interesting because it says teams. I'm assuming everyone is working on Tides of Torment now. So yeah, something really odd has happened here, that's for sure. Next year we'll return with one of the biggest Total War Warhammer content packs ever created in the trilogy alongside some free content. You'll get to see some of this nice and early as part of this year's 25th anniversary showcase. Okay, so the rumored End Times DLC. I'm a little bit concerned though, because it's like, oh yeah, it's going to be a really big DLC. And then it's like, well, you guys can't cope with Tides of Torment, man. Like, that's been delayed. So, are you sure that this End Times DLC is going to happen next year? Yeah. And then more celebration stuff. So, to ensure that the journey we take through this next chapter of the series is smoother, and that we're also more present in the communities, please also look out for the return of our live streams on Twitch and YouTube, alongside plenty of the 25th anniversary celebration events. We're bringing back community live streams on a regular weekly schedule, so you'll have a one-stop space for all of us to get together and updated on what's happening with Total War. Yeah, well, that's going to have to be wait and seen, because you guys bring it back and then disappear, and yeah, it's kind of weird. I'm not trying to be hostile here, it's just, it's pretty disappointing. It's pretty dry year, I'm not going to lie. Thank God for the old world. And then finally we want to apologize again for the disappointment of today's news, but hope that you look forward to a brighter road ahead. Oh, and the third faction for Tides of Torment is High Elves. Yeah, we already knew this because some people who apparently knew a little bit earlier were just talking about it with no repercussions. Led by the Sea Lord Aisling, and yes, we're very excited to show you more on that soon. I mean, we kind of expected it. I'm looking forward to Aisling. Yeah. That's going to be kind of fun. I mean, at the end of the day, everyone kind of wanted him, and I would love to see how the Merworm finally gets properly implemented, considering that we've had odd assets for the Merworm since Warhammer 2 with the Custom Empire Coast. So yeah, I mean, this is going to be cool. Ooh, I can't wait for the flying ballista for the High Elves, if that's something. Oh, I mean, the Lothan Skycutter is part of Sea Lord Aisling's kind of force. So yeah, I mean, at least there's some good news though. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. So I'll have a bit of a discussion. I do apologize if I do sound a little stressed. I am running around a lot today. And yeah, this news came in hot. Unfortunately, sent in like literally about an hour and a half before the blog came out, and that's never ideal. That's never ideal. Have a great one, guys. I'll see you all again very, very soon.